Portland, Lewiston, and other cities with public bus systems depend on money from Washington and Augusta. Today, the head of the Federal Transit Administration was in Maine to hear about the state's needs and also explain a significant problem. Maine applied for a $17 million federal transit grant this year, but didn't get any money because the application materials never made it to Washington. The Maine DOT says it filed the application online, but for some reason, key parts of it were not received. The DOT says it didn't know about the problem until long after the deadline. Peter Rogoff of the Federal Transit Administration says it was no one's fault. He said it was a computer malfunction of some kind. And he says the feds understand Maine still needs help with mass transit.
My purpose in coming up here is recognizing that we had a state with considerable transit needs that went unfunded. I wanted to find out firsthand what those needs are and to understand how we could address them in the future.
Rogoff says Maine was one of several states that were denied grants. Sue Moreau of the Maine DOT says the state was hoping for enough money to provide 10 new buses for the metro system in Portland and replacement buses for systems in the rest of the state. She says they have moved some money around to buy a few buses for the metro, where officials tell us some buses are 20 years old. The Maine DOT says the state gets $12 million a year in regular transit funding from the federal government. That money is still coming. It pays for some equipment and for much of the operating subsidy for public transit systems.